like when Grenna just gets tired of Bubbles, it's like, well, hey, guess what? You're gonna be my little living bomb.
Well, it's not like I could stop him from leaving if he wanted to leave. I'm leaving. Okay, bye. I need a pony.
I think you can stop him. You have arrows. He doesn't run that fast.
He doesn't have that many hit points.
Who?
Bubbles.
I don't know. Did Bubbles level up with us?
You know, that's always been a question I've wanted to ask people. How, like, I don't know how that works with rangers, because companions are different than familiars. Because I don't think familiars really do. They don't really advance. But I've always wondered about companions, and I always kind of thought that they should, at least be like a half a level, or like at the half of what they're.
If you're not giving them a level or a half level, like you're saying, at least give them a growth arc with giving them different abilities and adding on that way. I think was always kind of the way we dealt with it. It's kind of an easy order. Do you want the easy hit points, or do you want to have +5 to stealth and such?
Because it would be like a puppy growing up. It would learn, and then it would have that time where it's like, I'm going to rip your face off. And then as it gets older, it would have more arthritis type stuff.
Yeah.
Or you could give it a level of artificer.
Boom!
and just put that cannon on its back.
That's right.
Yeah.
That
would be pretty funny. Well, actually, we're live. We've been live for a little bit. Thought I would kind of do this, being that we were talking about cool game mechanics. So everybody,
versus the chaos.
Oh, of course. Everybody, welcome back. I'm your Dungeon Master Brian, and we are here with the Dungeons and Dragons gaming group, Drunkards and Dragons gaming group. Sorry, I think I'm having a stroke. I shouldn't even joke about that, because I'm one of those people who could easily, it's like if you guys ever watch me one day and I just start saying weird shit, be like, oh yeah, he's blown a fuse. Good going, Rob. So yeah, everybody, welcome back. If you haven't had a chance to check out any of our streams lately, we've been doing interviews with our players, which have actually been quite fun. I've really enjoyed interviewing each of you. I believe we're coming up next week. I think we only have 2 people left.
2 more.
What's that?
2 more.
2 more. Yes.
2 more.
So it's either going to be Pav, who plays Calyx, or it's going to be Mike, who plays Kiffy. So it's really.
Okay. Well, I think with their initiative roll, I think Kiffy did roll lower than me. So, unless he wants to go next, I'm happy to oblige.
Makes no difference to me.
Okay, well that's fine. I mean, it's all good no matter what. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check out those videos, make sure to head over to YouTube and take a look at The Mystic Syndicate. You can put that in the search field, and you can find our channel, and you'll see all of our videos that we've produced for this show, as well as some past shows that are kind of archived there as well. But the interviews are really wonderful. Yes.
I'd like to address something about all the shows that we've done before. I was looking at statistics today, and we have 169 hours in Princess of Celene.
Yes. Wow. 169 hours.
The number
69, dude. 69.
I'm a student that puts that into his communication device. Going down the hall, 69, 69, 69. We're clearing that out. Find another word. Thank you.
So, yeah, 169 hours of actual playtime. Well, I don't know if it was actual playtime. I think some of it's been kind of some of it's been horsing around, which is fine. I mean, that's all a part of the game, you know.
You're the editor.
I will admit the only thing that I'm really concerned about right now is volume levels and making sure everything sounds good. I have not been very adamant about going through and chopping out stuff because sometimes there's things that you guys say that really should stay, and I don't want to vanilla the game. I want you guys, if you all say something so off colored and so weird, it's like, yeah, leave that. Just leave it. It's all good. You know, no one's gonna worry about it. I mean, we could get canceled, I guess, but I can always start another channel.
Why is everybody looking at me when he said, "When go off on a tangent and say something weird"?
Nobody's looking at you, Ed. That's all coming
you
from
paranoid?
inside you.
It's freaking
Am I
paranoid.
paranoid?
Yeah.
No, just because a statement is made doesn't mean it's about you. But if you identify with that statement, maybe you need to look at yourself a little bit.
Okay.
I am looking at myself. I'm right in the middle of the stream,
See, right there, you're in the middle. I gotta look at you.
doing my best Max Fordyce impression. Max Fordyce, yeah.
Ed, you are the Dennis Leary "I'm an Asshole" song.
Oh, I love that song. I love the song.
I mean, you're the personification of that. So that's why
On many
we
levels.
at you, and you're not even arguing it, which is good.
Why should I? It's true.
First step's always admitting it.
Okay. Alrighty.
Second step's finding out where everybody gets the booze.
Alrighty, so with that in mind, I'd like to give, of course, some thanks going out to, of course, Roll20, who provides our virtual tabletop. Love Roll20. Glad that I found it back in 2012 and played with it, and it's still playing with it. 10 years, was it 12 years later? Holy shit!
And you haven't got blind.
And of course, we also like to give a thanks to, I guess, Wizards of the Coast for I can't. I just freaking can't.
It's not a thank you. It's a recognizing that we're utilizing their funds.
Well, to be fair, they haven't done anything. They just bought it and labeled it. You know, somebody
Right.
else thought it up. Somebody else created it.
Yeah.
Somebody else did it.
The original
then-
creators of D&D Beyond, I thank you, you know, for taking the time to actually put this together. It's a shame that, you know, screwed with it and did whatever they do with it. I mean,
I'll thank them. I'll thank Wizards of the Coast and all of that. I'm all behind them giving us a single talking point that consistently through how many of these that we've done, apparently 169 hours, it is our capital point. So thank you for that discussion point.
yeah. You know, I think you're right, Albie. Wow, you know, that's a really good way to look at it. You know, yeah, that's cool, man. Okay. And also, I'd like to give a big thanks going out to all our new followers on X, Twitter, all of the new followers that are on our YouTube channel. Thank you also very much for dropping by and watching the silliness that has unfolded over the years. Yeah, and also make sure, if you haven't had a chance to check out our podcast, we right now have 15 episodes of the Princess of Celene in podcast format. You can catch us on iTunes, so just look for the Mystic Syndicate, and you'll find us. It'll be great. So let's go ahead and start with introductions, and of course, we always start with Linda.
I don't have food in my mouth this time, so it's good. I purposely waited. I kept paying attention to where you were in the conversation. I'm Melinda. I play Greta Babbleboots, a Gnomon Ranger with her companion Bubbles, the Ward.
I'm Mike. I play Kimpy Blackhammer, a dwarven cleric of Fortubo.
Hello, I'm Pav. I play a human paladin named Kelix. He's a paladin of Heronius.
Hi, I'm Russ, and I play the character most disliked in this party, Jarn Toffermather Halderson.
Hi, I'm Ed, and I voted against Russ, so that's a good thing. I play Tomas Waverly, actually Sir Tomas Waverly, Knight of Thistle, Knight or Squire of the Yeomanry, and a Bard of the Realm.
Well, I am Tivid Snibbenblaven, and I am firmly yoked, bound, tied to the nation of Bissell as its High Chancellor and diplomat.
Huzzah, huzzah. That's wonderful.
Does
All
anyone
right.
want to jump? Anyone? Anyone?
Someone.
Kimpy refused all titles after that, so don't look at me.
Kippy doesn't need that smoke. Yeah, he doesn't need any of that. Alrighty. So the last time that we were all together, you all had spent a little bit of time talking with Aravistorax the dragon. You had come to an agreement that you would do everything that you could to locate her lost egg. During that time, there was a distress message sent to Kelix from Melda, saying that there was an attack on the Queen's life. That's the Queen of Celene, her life by her own daughter, Sintaisha. So, you all flew back to Celene to try to deal with that issue. Found out a little bit more information about Sintaisha. And then you started putting out some feelers and some looking for information concerning the whereabouts of Lothar, the Barbarian King, the one who actually stole the egg from Aravistorax. And I believe you all came to the conclusion that you may have to make a trip back to Greyhawk. So, here we are.
Going back to Greyhawk. Going back to Greyhawk.
I thought we were there.
Did you go?
I thought we were right there.
Yeah, I think that's where we
were
stopped.
at the verge of going when we ended.
Thought we divided where everyone was going to go.
We had talked about that beforehand, but we had not actually left.
Well, there it is. We step onto the stage in Greyhawk.
Actually, I am cool with that idea. Like, yes, the what is it? The 2 hour flight would just be like, I don't want to do this. We're not doing that. That's insanity. But okay, so cool. So yeah, you all actually land your griffins not too far away from the Crystal Citadel. There is kind of an area for people to leave mounts. Of course, your mounts are pretty special because they are not known to that you can stable them with other creatures that are not griffins. So yeah, because they'll eat horses and things like that. They don't care. Griffins are badass. So after talking with some locals, they are able to find you suitable lodging for your griffins. And you're kind of thinking that you're not going to be there hopefully too long. but that's always kind of, you just never know what'll happen when you're in Greyhawk. You might be here for just a very short amount of time, and then again, you may be here longer than you expect. So, what is
Are we
it?
going to get a? Are we going to find a tavern and set up residence for at least one night? Yes.
I'm going to the Revo. You can. I'm going to go to the Revo Brothers and find out what I can real quick.
Yeah, we're going to look for lodging.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that sounds like a good idea. Here's some gold.
I'll take the gold.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
They're gonna run off and figure out what they're doing, and I'm gonna go find lodging.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So Yarn, as you walk away, you probably get about 100 yards from the rest of them when you recognize a gentleman calling out to you from the crowd, and it is Bilius, the archmage from Sterich, is waving to you. You know,
I wave back.
and he quickly walks over and he says, "It is so good to see you again,
And you, sir.
Master Yarn. When was the last time you were back in Pelik? It's been some time, I think."
Indeed, it has.
Okay, well,
before the last time I saw you.
then it's been some time. The reason I ask is because there has been a meeting here at the Crystal Citadel, and you, being that you are now the master mage of the March of Bissell, you have been given membership to the Crystal Citadel, and you have been given office space and a place to live if you while you're here at the Crystal Citadel. And I know that we've sent probably several messages to Pelik thinking that that's where you would be.
Oh no, we've been in Evstat, and we were in. Where was it? Where was the lair?
That was in Mount Perrin.
Mount Perrin.
Yeah.
And
Been to Celene. You've been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting trip.
He says, well, I guess so. But when you get a chance, please make sure to drop by the Citadel. If I'm free, I don't know if you're busy right now, but we could go and I could make sure you get checked in and get all of your things squared away.
I am completely at leisure, sir.
Awesome. Great. Wonderful. And so he says, please. And you all walk on into the Crystal Citadel. You walk up once again to that kiosk corner, sort of like the
information booth.
The information booth, yeah. And Billy says, will you all please check in Archmage Yarn Tolfer Halderson? Sorry.
It's okay. Not many people from the Cold Lands.
It's tough. But and so they immediately go through and said, "Oh, yes, Master Mage, yes." And they hand you a key made of gold.
Oh, cool.
It's probably about probably 2 inches long. If I'm being really generous, about 2 inches. 2 inches, kids. Yeah. This is 2. Alrighty. Okay. I'm. That was bad. Okay. So he says, I'll show you to where you're going to be. And so they walk over to those floating discs that act as, and you end up going up 2 levels, and it stops right out in front of a doorway. He says, "Well, there you go." And yeah, so
I open it up and check it out.
Okay, it's very, very similar to the ones you've seen before. Antero's uh, um, sort of lair, so to speak, or his lodgings. It's very, very similar. It may just be a tad bit smaller, but not by much. But it has seems to have more window and view space. So it's even though you may be giving up a little bit of space, the view is incredible, and you're thinking, okay, this is not so bad. It has it has a desk that you can, writing desk. It has an alchemy bench that you, if you want to create potions or things of that nature. It also has a place to sleep if you want to do so. It has a large closet for your clothing, and also, notice inside the closet is a robe that is primarily worn when you are in session with the other mages. And of course, being that you are the high mage of a country, all high mages have quarters here within the Crystal Citadel. So by you taking on that mantle of responsibility, you now also have this.
Whoa!
So,
I had a choice.
you didn't really. I think you were. I think you were pretty much tagged, weren't you? To be like, oh,
Yeah.
by the way, we don't have one. You're one now.
Yeah.
Was it Kellex that did that? I think it was Kellex.
It was.
Oh yeah.
No, okay, so
Along with everybody got a position.
yeah, you can blame Kellex.
69. That's my position.
All right. All right.
Okay.
And just to help with the flow of the game, I'm not planning on leaving this office. So I'm going to ask Alf to go find Kellex and explain to him where I am.
Okay.
Now, what I'm planning on doing for the rest of the day is looking at Intaro's spell book and seeing if there are 4th level spells in there I can learn.
Okay. Well, you're able to learn 4th level spells now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So
yeah, that was the important part.
Okay, so Jarn, so Antero was ancient. I mean, he was a very, very old wizard. And I'm also kind of thinking that maybe that was not his first incarnation. He probably had cloned himself over probably hundreds of years. So if you're going to find anything in that book for a 4th level spell, it will have every spell for 4th level written up in it. He was a master mage. He was, like I said, he was ancient. And the only reason he died was because of the dragon attack and the collapse of the tower. And that is why he was not able to come back. So, and you're kind of thinking, being that he had so much knowledge, it's a pretty good sign that anything that you pick up from him, the gifts that he left behind for you, will probably be complete. This is a library of magic that only like there are evil kings and potentates out there who would love to have the ability to wield this type of power. Okay. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. Yes, and now you can get with the other guys, and it'll flow, and I won't interrupt.
Okay. As he sits there going through all the 4th level spells in, like, I shall learn all of these. These are all mine now.
Hey, Jarn, that doesn't make us like you anymore.
Have I ever decided I wanted to be liked?
Okay, so the rest of you had other things that you were doing. So let me go with Kellex first. So Kellex, what are you doing?
Well, I was going to go and talk with the bishop to see if he could help us locate, or if they had any documents that may have had some of the Keddish symbols and things we're looking for, to help Timble out.
Please also remember that we actually had them looking into things, so there is a potential of them having information for you. Because when we left, they were going to look and see who could give us aid in Bissell.
Yeah.
And they're still focusing on that. So there may be more information there altogether. And perhaps some aid in whatever form it come.
Okay. So yeah, you arrive at the temple to. Oh,
Hold
Mike,
on.
you have a question?
Mike's got something.
No, well, I was just gonna say, Kiffy didn't really have anything that he had planned to do, so he's just gonna tag along with Calyx because
That's cool.
Oh,
Okay,
my
yes.
holy friend.
Okay, yeah.
Two
So both
religious nerds go on a walk.
Okay, so yeah, so both of you end up over at the temple to Heronius. It's still probably pretty early by the time that you arrive, so it doesn't take. You're able to go in and get the attention of an acolyte or two who immediately go to summon the Hierophant who is in his office. And after just a brief amount of time, as you all are standing there, of course, this is like an open temple area. There are no pews or anything like that. It's very medieval. So where people had to stand the entire sermon. Yeah, the Hierophant walks out and immediately recognizes you again, Calyx, and of course he comes to you and Kiffy, and bows and says, "Welcome back, welcome back. I have great news for you. We have been able to send aid, not just with healers and paladins. We did send a company of paladins to help, pulling them from different regions, and they are in Pellic at this time. The last I was informed, the war does seem to be at a standstill at the moment. They have not been able to advance any further towards Pellic. But it seems as though your efforts to gain allies and friends has paid off.
So when he approaches, and before he says all that, I do bow back to him and say, "Eminence, it's good to see you." And that is great news, and very happy to hear that. We actually may need some more help from the church, if possible.
If there's anything that we can do, we stand ready. How can I help you?
My companions and I are looking to, I guess the term is to sneak into Ket, and we're looking for some documentation that might be able to help us with our disguise. Some, what do they call them? Sigils or
Looking for
some papers to help us enter Ket.
papers of patents and things of that nature, wax
Yes,
seals of the type.
Yes.
Understandable. Oh, Ket is very difficult because Ket, being a monotheistic region, and Hieronius is not very welcome there. I mean, we can go through our archives to see if there is anything that is present. It may take some time. He immediately turns and motions the acolytes over to him and says, let the priests and bishop also know that we need to take a look for documents that originated with the Ket, specifically royalty, in anything that would work, to see if you can get that started for us. And they, of course, bow and said, "Of course, Your Eminence," and they rush off. And he said, "Hopefully, we'll be able to find something soon for you."
Yeah. hopefully we're not planning on staying too long. Um, I'll come back later this evening to see if any of the tenants have had any luck at finding it.
Of
Do you know
course.
if there's any place in Greyhawk itself that might be able to have a chance, have like definitely have some of these documentation, some kind of communications correspondence between Ket?
I would say most likely, if there's going to be any type of correspondence or information that comes back and forth from Ket to here, it would be through their embassy.
I see.
And that might be kind of a tall order, but at least the one thing that you have going here is being that Greyhawk is a free city, and that any type of aggression that would be taken against you or your friends would be frowned upon, and there's always a chance that there are repercussions for such activities.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you again, Your Eminence. And again, I will return later this evening to see if there's been any luck.
Of course.
Kiffy, turkey sandwich?
Yeah, I thought you'd never ask.
Okay.
That means Bob yields his time back to the honorable Kiffy.
So yeah, you all end up walking out feeling a little bit more feeling better about the news that was given to you. You head over to the turkey sandwich stand, which is it's a little bit before noon by the time you get there, so there is a line. But it's once again you are standing there, and people are talking and just having a good time, and they get their sandwiches, and there are places to sit, of course, to enjoy your turkey sandwich. All right, so
Should we get some for the others, Kiffy?
Yeah, we probably should.
You sound so pleased about that, Kiffy.
You sound normal. What are you talking about?
it sounds like normal Kiffy. Like,
Yeah. No, Kiffy is a dick. I don't know why everybody likes him so much.
yeah, for those people who watch the interviews, Kiffy does seem to be the end favorite. But it's like, okay.
Well, simply awesome. Put, I think what we're really looking at is, he's the nurse that knows how to give the shot without it hurting, or start a IV without it hurting. You just tend to like that.
Is she
Or the nurse that does the treatment without giggling.
Well, your history is your own. You do as you will.
That's just because he's going to a urologist.
Okay. So Ed, what were you doing?
Thank you for waiting until I put myself on mute before you asked me a question.
Anytime.
I'm visiting the Rouveau brothers.
Okay.
And I am with him.
Okay, so we have 3 people going to visit the Rouveau brothers. Okay, very good. So, you all walk up, and the Rouveau brothers, the little standalone shop full of adventuring equipment, guides, maps, everything that you could possibly want is, of course, here at the Rouveau brothers. And as soon as you walk in, you can hear that Anton and Clarence are having kind of a lively discussion. You've seen this before. Actually, you've seen them in a fight before. But they, as soon as the bell rings over the door, they immediately turn and recognize you all once again. And they're like, "Oh, our Bissell friends are back." And they walk over to you and greet you warmly and said, well, welcome back. What have you found? Have you found anything new, exciting?
We found a dragon.
And you lived. This is wonderful. They're like, this is grand. This is wonderful news. So were you able to you didn't kill the dragon, right? I mean, no,
No.
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 Okay, okay. Well,
Stepping out for a second, might have to take a quick phone call real quick.
okay. Have fun.
No. We did not kill the dragon, and she seems to be in quite a position. It would seem that agents of Ket have killed, destroyed, I don't know, however you want to put it, 2 of her eggs, and run off with another one, and are holding that against her, her action, and forcing her to do things she would never normally do, such as, attack Bissell. So we're kind of on a hunt, as it were, for, what is his name? Lothar. Apparently, we're supposed to quake at the Lothar the Barbarian. It sounds like a
Lothar the Barbarian King.
Barbarian King, a story for children. That's what it sounds like.
And at this, Tomas
Mhm.
says maybe we should go to a more secluded place, because if there are people here in the shop hearing this, we don't want that information to get out.
Well, right now you're the only people in the shop, so Clarence walks over and flips the sign to closed and locks the door. And he says, I think we're good. So you're looking for Lothar. Now, mind you, of course, Lothar is not an actual barbarian. This is a title that was given to him by his I don't even know if they're his peers, probably those who fear him most. Gave him this title. He is a Ket noble. He does pull some strings at court. I mean, he's not a crown prince or anything of that nature. But
You know where his lands are, his barony?
oh, um, that I'm not really too sure of. I don't think we have anything that would state that.
Do you have any Ketian maps?
Now, I know that he is a cousin of Aziz, the crown prince of Ket. So, I know
By marriage?
By
marriage or bloodline?
I think he's actually a part of the bloodline, but he's not in the Ascension. So that's kind of a good thing. Lothar is unscrupulous. He is dangerous. He is very cunning. Where his cousin Aziz is absolutely a cruel and ruthless type of person, more of a sociopath than anything. Now,
sociopath with a title.
Yes, yeah, very narcissistic as well. Now, if something should happen
already,
if something should happen to Aziz, though, then his sister would take the throne if something should happen to the emperor. And that is Ela Al-Zar. Ela is different. She's not anything. She's actually kind of the opposite of Aziz. So there is a chance.
Her name, you said, was Eva?
Ela. E-L-A. Yeah. Al, with a, not a hyphen, what is it? Accent mark. Z-A-R. Ela Al-Zar. And with the mention of that, Anton says, he looks over at Clarence and says, I think she's here in, like, Greyhawk.
Mm.
And of course, they both look at each other and went, oh, that might be true. I mean, she's not slated to take the throne, so she's been given more of a diplomatic role for Ket. She might actually be here in Greyhawk.
Would you happen to know where she's at, aside from the embassy?
Most likely, she's going to be the embassy. They have quarters for their ambassadors.
Figured. Okay. I mean, I'm surprised I don't get quarters as an ambassador, but
You do realize that there is an embassy to Bissell here in Greyhawk.
yeah, but they should be coming to meet me when I land. I would.
I'll work on it, Ed.
And run around willy nilly chasing this or that. That's an act of magic I would love to see.
So, if she's here in Greyhawk, do we know if she's courting any countries that Ket is currently trying to get to join their alliance against Bissell? Have you heard any rumors?
Let's see if that is something that they would know. Give me a percentile check.
A percentile check.
Yeah,
Ooh,
higher. Give me a higher
I
low.
want the low. I want
Going
the
low.
low.
Okay, let's see how this works.
How low can he go?
97, 97.
Very good. Alrighty. So, yeah, they said right now they have 2 countries that they are probably working on to get to come on their side. One is Tismet, and the other is Ekbir. So those are the 2 countries that they are primarily schmoozing up to get to join the fight in Bissell.
Where's Ekbir at, real quick? Out of
There is. Let's find us a good map. Give you a little bit more information.
Yeah, I'm looking right now myself.
It should be, if I remember right.
That's
Ket,
West Coast, west of Tujmit.
Yeah, it's west of Tismet. Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Yeah. There has not been any word of them courting All yet. All is just south of Zeif. Actually, it's to the southeast of Zeif. That's a very large country. But the beautiful thing about that is they would actually have to go around the mountains to get to Bissell.
Okay. And finally, let's see. Do you have any documents or anything that you can tell us about Tismet that can help us impersonate either merchants or diplomats from there?
Of course, we have clothing that would match. Would match merchants or travelers from that region. We actually have books kind of outlining customs and ways of those people who live in both Ket, Tismet, Ekbir, Zeif, and even All. So we can definitely provide you with that information and also some of the clothing items themselves.
Have I ever told you how much I like you 2 gentlemen?
They're like, we
Can I
understand.
get you a turkey sandwich? Absolutely love you guys.
So we understand your all's plight, and we have been to Bissell many times. Love the country. The people are always kind to us, and so anything that we can do to return that good nature and good humor back to your lands is paramount to us. So that is one of the reasons, and also you all are very agreeable individuals, and we're hoping that one day you will also sit down and pen something yourselves to add to our library here, so that we can help others.
How to avoid being the High Chancellor of Bissell. It writes itself.
You know, last time I was here, I tried to write a commercial and I was going to sing it all over the realms, and that failed miserably. I think I rolled a really poor roll on that one. So we'll figure something out for these guys. Okay. Any other questions, Greta, Howie?
No, I just like to go through their stock of documents, anything they have from Ket, Tismet, just all of that to build up my knowledge of their languages.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking if we could possibly borrow the books, we could take them back to a tavern, and I can get drunk and pass out with my head on them, like I did in school in the army, and I can learn everything via osmosis and just soak the knowledge into my head through a hangover.
I think I'll be working with these in public.
I'd like to know if they have anything about the summer court.
They as soon as you mention the summer court, they both look at the they both look at you and go, Mistress Grenna, you do understand what you're asking, correct?
No, but that's never stopped her before.
It said, we actually have some information that we would be happy to share with you, but why would you want to travel to such... It's quite a dangerous place, the Feywild.
Oh, no reason. Gotta...
You probably heard us land with our Griffins. She has a couple outstanding parking tickets with her Griffin, so it's kind of pissed off the Feywild a little bit, and she's trying to understand the system a little bit better.
Oh, so by going before the summer court, you're going to plead your case for a Griffin parking infraction? I mean, what
if only it was so simple of a thing. No.
I mean, of course, we'd be happy to help you, but
you have no idea how the Fey run a parking court. They're just crazy. Environmentally sound and all that kind of stuff.
No, no, I just would like to know a little bit of more about them, and we need to make them a little happy.
They both, of course, look at you sternly and say, the number one, you do realize that you never make a deal with any of them at all. You do know this, right?
Apparently some do.
You also don't enter into one and do so not tactfully.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can show you some books and manuscripts that we've written. We've traveled there, but we have never been. We have just been to the wilds itself. We've never actually went before the courts. Okay, so you need to. We can provide you sort of field manuals on what you'll see when you get there, but as with dealing with the denizens within, we really don't have a lot. But if you do decide to travel through the Standing Stones and you find any information, we would love to hear about it. And of course, we would be more than happy to also, pay you for your writings. And they look to all of you. Yeah. Okay.
If we survive.
Yeah. It's a rough place up there, but you faced off against a dragon. So why would this be? You should be fine. As they both kind of look away and go, "This is not good." It's like, okay, this is not good. So they bring you all some documentation out. They bring you out the things that you're asking about Tismet. They do have some old documentation that bears old wax seals, but they look like they're probably a couple of 100 years old, and the seals have been cracked and a little bit damaged, but it does give you kind of an idea of what you're looking at. And they do bring it looks like a pamphlet on how to survive the Feywild. and it's got little illustrations on it, hand drawn things. It looks like this is their only copy. This was just something that they just kind of whipped up. But
So it's the only WotC product they have.
yeah, pretty much. It's got like crappy AI generated, graphics, a lot like ours, but ours are better.
Great. Also want to ask them if they have any information on Fae interbreeding with the non-Fae species.
That's a different section. That's a store down the street.
Is that Adam and Eve or Kelly's Love Shack? I don't want those kind of lessons. I just want like stories about more what happened to those kids if they were produced.
Not a how-to manual.
No, no.
How
Keep it G.
How to mate
She's
with
looking
the
for
Fae.
looking for a Fae Harlequin novel.
Okay. They don't really, like I said, really about the only thing that they have Fae related is that little 4 or 5 page pamphlet that they gave you. When you mention breeding, practices of the Fae, they're like, we've never actually seen them actually do that. So it would be kind of
stories or anything.
Well, of course, there is myths about it, that there are, every once in a while you'll hear where the Fae will come in and exchange a human child for a Fae child, and these changelings end up growing up to be just absolute like Fae nightmares, and there are stories like that. There are people who have been. There is a myth that children or creatures or born to Fae parents are left in our realm, in our plane, and that once they are touched by a Fae creature, they start to take on their original attributes. I mean, these are, of course, myths. I mean, there's nothing, who knows if it's true or not. As you kind of stand there like, thinking about your own situation, and you start to question some things, Grenna. That yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm sitting there thinking these guys know nothing. Any story I tell them right now, they're going to think is true.
And with our group, it probably is true. Well, will become true. We have a way of self-manifestation.
There is that. All right. I think we're done with the Rouveau brothers. You got anything else, Hobby?
Not really. I'm just thinking of, making sure that I get what I can down, seeing what clothing they have, what devices would be on articles of clothing, belts, that sort of thing, as well as anything that they would have on their weapons, anything to make it look more of Tismet. Also, all that damn writing I'm going to have to do and see if I can get a proper format for the letter of introduction and such.
Yeah. So after going through some of the like the field guides concerning Tismet, you do realize that their languages, they speak, of course, Common, Ancient, Baklunish. There is some in the mountains. There are dwarves that are present, and sometimes also halflings, but you don't see a lot of them. Primarily, though, it's a human, a country full of humans. They do have their allies are Zyfe and Ket. Sometimes they've actually had some run-ins with Ekbir in the past. So there is, unless there is some sort of an alliance or an agreement drawn up between them and Ekbir, most likely Ekbir is going to be left out if Tismet comes on the side of the cat. So that's at least one good thing. Maybe unless they are trying very very hard to bridge the divide. We'll see.
Hey, and Albie, I know you're not familiar with Greyhawk, but I just sent you a picture of what the different races, human races, look like in Greyhawk, so you can kind of tee off of that.
Oh, send me that.
Coming.
Cool. Okay, and so I think, did that cover everybody? Okay, cool. Alrighty, so once you all are finished, what was your next plan? I know what Jarn's doing. Jarn is busy filling his noggin full of good old education there, some knowledge. So what are the rest of you doing?
I assume we have a tavern that we'd like, that we kind of know a little bit, so we can all meet back up and kind of discuss things. Hey, let's meet at the fucking 3 Coins at noon or something along that lines.
Well, if you remember, actually, money was given to Jarn to go find a place to stay. So he's kind of missing.
Yeah, we don't.
Find a place to send a letter, but I want to send it encrypted. I don't know what the word is. Magically.
Didn't Yarn send someone to fetch Kellex, or at least tell Kellex where he's at?
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. I sent Alf.
Oh, that's right. You did send out. So, okay. So, Kellex, as you and Kiffy are walking down the stairs of the temple, you see Alf show up by himself, and he just kind of hovers there in the air briefly, and informs you that that Master Yarn is at the Crystal Citadel in his new apartment, having fun.
We're gonna go crash party, boys.
I can imagine Kellex's face as he goes, "What?
What?
you sent him to go get a tavern room, and he ends up like, oh no, you guys can stay in the tavern. I'm too high and mighty for you all.
There's enough floor space for bedrolls.
But also remember, Kellex, that the Hierophant has offered lodgings and stuff there at the before, and you all had actually stayed at the monastery behind the temple, so you could also stay there.
Okay.
That is an offer that still stands.
I think more likely we'll want to all sort of stay together, unless Yarn wants to hang out in his high-rise tower apartment.
His bachelor's pad. His babe lair.
I would also assume that that there would be some way of accommodating visitors to high-ranking wizards at the Crystal Palace. I mean, I would think that they would have people come in and visit them from time to time there, since they have offices and their residents are there, that they would have some means of giving us some place to sleep, all of that.
You can always ask.
Library.
I guess I know where Grinna, Albie, and Tomas went. Yes.
Yeah. They told you that they were heading over to the Revos.
Well, we'll pack up our turkey sandwiches that we bought for them, and we'll start heading toward that way. I'll give Alf a turkey sandwich for the.
Yeah. which he immediately appreciates and is like, it's like, oh, thank you so much. This is so good. I haven't had
Tell
one
your
in.
master Yarn that we'll be seeing him shortly.
I will. And he goes flying off.
And one thing I do before we leave the Revo brothers is out of the dragon horde. I remember I took up coins. I took up gold bars for that chest. I hand him one of the gold bars. I say, "This is for your trouble." Mind you, it's from an actual dragon horde. And I hand it to him.
And he's like, Anton looks at it and says, okay, I have a question then. You didn't slay the dragon, but you actually have gold from its horde. I mean, how much schmoozing did you all do?
Well, it really does like men.
I wave him quiet. I say, I am a bard. And I kind of give him the wink.
Okay. So they thank you. So yeah, this will definitely help us go further in the once we get back into right now we're kind of in between adventuring and just watching the shops. So this will definitely help us get prepared for when we head off on our next adventure, which is to the very, very far east. Well, we'll definitely let you know how that works out.
Oh man, Shogun Assassin.
Okay, so yeah, as you all, Kelix and Kivi, as you all are walking out and you get done talking with Alf, you head into the merchant district, and there you see the rest of your friends are walking out of the Revo Brothers establishment, and they come and they spot you, and you're once again reunited in the merchant in the merchant section.
Sir Thomas, Kimmel, Greta.
I have
Good
a
to
plan.
See you.
First he says, let's find Yarn. I've got a plan.
Okay, first I want to send that letter to my parents that I sent you guys, and then I want to send one to my uncle, but I want to send them magically. So can Yarn do that, or do we have to find a special place to do that?
Yarn's weak sauce, so he can't do shit.
I'm sure the Crystal Palace has
Yarn's weak sauce. Damn.
Let me look at those spells again.
Speaking of Crystal Palace, it seems our master wizard has found accommodations there.
Let's go there.
Let's go crash his pad.
Okay.
We need to talk, and at least that seems to be somewhat private.
Yeah. So yeah, you all start making your way over to the Crystal Citadel, and once again you find yourself out in the Great Hall, which is the bottom of the Citadel, and you're standing in front of the information kiosk, and you what the robed individuals there, the young wizards. Say, yeah, greetings, and welcome to the Crystal Citadel. How can we help you today?
We're here to see
Yarn Grimmer.
Master Yarn. Blah 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 blah.
Yarn Grimmerson.
Yarn Grimmerson. They look at you puzzled for just a moment and say, "Oh, the new master wizard from Bissell. Yes, yes, he is in his office." As they're checking the sheet, and they sign you in, and they said, "If you take that floating disc right there, it'll take you right to his office."
Yarn's moving on up
to the deluxe apartment in the sky.
Well done. Okay, so you all jump up on the disc, and whoosh, up you go, and you find yourself in front of an ornate doorway, and on the outside of it, it has Master Mage Bissell Yarn, the Grimmer guy.
How do you pronounce it?
Jarn Grimmer Tofermathra Halderson.
I got the Grimmer right.
Jarn Grimmer.
Jarn Grimmer.
Yeah, Mr. G.
Yo,
Yarn, yeah. And so you're standing out in front of his doorway. The door is closed, of course.
Tomas walks right in.
Alrighty. I don't know if he actually locked the door or not, but Yarn, you were in like deep in study, and
Fireball! No.
Yeah.
we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine fireball at the door, blowing the rest of them off of the landing, and 3 stories down they land amongst the people below? Yeah, that's
We land very, very angry. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. The first spell I learned out of that book was Glyph of Warding.
Oh, too bad. Too bad you didn't use it yet. Ha ha.
Warding?
The night is young.
Okay. So, Yarn, you are deep in thought, but you hear the doorknob on your door turn slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and you can hear it being pushed open. But of course, your desk is facing in such a way that it does not. You're not facing away from the door. You're actually facing the door, which is actually the smart thing to do for wizards. You don't want to be caught with your back to the entrance.
Which is why there's so many windows on the junior wizards.
Gotta keep your eyes peeled. Get your head on a swivel.
That's it.
So you look up and you see Tomas is just kind of peering into the door and spots you.
Come.
What's up, SA?
Evidently, they like me. Unlike the rest of the party.
They don't know you.
Bitch.
So we all gather up in Yarn's room, and Tomas starts to outline his plan.
All right, why don't we shut the door and lock it this time?
You don't have servants. You don't have servants for that.
Well, yes, I do have an unseen servant. However, I don't want to waste that spell slot. Thank you very much.
Yes, his name is Thomas.
Where's the restroom?
Remember that portable hole that you have?
Yeah, I thought you carried it with you.
That's my portable bag of shit.
Exactly.
Where's yours?
I'm not sure there is one in here.
That there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another bag of holding?
No. This one's actually more of a chamber pot sort of situation.
That's
but
what
there
I
is
was
at
going
least.
to do, is go look. I was looking to see if they had another bag of holding there. Hell yeah.
So you could take his bag of holding too.
Well, nobody's really been in here and used it much. That one might be serviceable. The one I have here has got, well, now that I find that he's been, kind of working himself along, cloning himself, I don't know how many hundreds of years of feces and piss I got in here. But you want to know who will find out? Okay.
I like that.
From the back of the dragon.
Preferably from the back of the.
Yes, preferably from the back of the dragon.
I just opened my fortune cookie, and it says, "A quiet evening with friends is the best tonic for a long day."
No.
Oh,
Wow, Ed gave a reach around.
and it teaches me the Chinese word for mango. The
Which
numbers
is?
sucked up. Today's Chinese word is mango, which is guo. Oh, it's mango. Oh, they spell it phonetically. That's pretty funny. All right.
Hey,
So what's this plan?
the plan.
Which
So,
plan, man?
Because I thought we
um,
had a plan.
let's go to the Ket Embassy.
Why?
I can't see that going poorly.
Well, first of all, we can find out what the crux of the war is from Ket on Bissell.
What
Ela
do
Al-Zar is there.
Okay.
We can go see her,
Time out.
feel it out.
There's-
I'm an ambassador, so they can't turn me away.
okay, look, there's a premise here that you're missing. If there's an embassy, once we're at the embassy, we are in Ket.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to Ket without being able to fight my way out.
Oh, we can fire our way out of the embassy.
how
But-
about you go and then report back?
Here's the thing. I need to see what she looks like because then I can cast disguise self on me, and we can act like we're her entourage when we go back to Ket.
I think there
Yes,
might be a
because
better
she's
way
going
to
to be
do that.
surrounded by gnomes.
Well, she'd be surrounded. Well, actually, we're going to put you in like mini Princess Leia. Like I'm sure there's a midget Princess Leia slave outfit out there or something like that. Picture. It's the internet. I guarantee it's out there. What's that?
I'm going to have a pointy, sharp object.
Let's see. Google mini midget Princess Leia.
There's a special place in hell for you. You know that, right?
How about
Why don't you just break into the
Brian-
embassy?
the clairvoyance is where you see, right?
Yes.
Okay. We can utilize a spell to actually look at her. We use clairvoyance to see, so we can see what and that way we're much less likely to get captured by Ket. Because think about it.
We're in a
Right.
diplomatic immunity.
Bullshit. Who the hell knows we're here?
They're fighting a war with us. You honestly think they're going to follow directions? They're using a dragon for
Look.
crying out loud.
We can use Greyhawk as a lever, but Greyhawk's not going to save our ass.
Okay, I have a question.
Well, remember what Brian had said. It is a free city, so they can't attack us without
Provocation.
If we're in their embassy, we're no longer in Greyhawk. It is
However, we
sovereign
go
soil.
there on the pretense that we're there to discuss, some kind of solution to this war.
Exactly.
We're there as guests. I mean, I think I know where Ed's getting at with our
Well,
Sir
firstly,
Tomas
we would
getting
need to go to our own embassy, at which point state that we're here. And then we have to write up the documents requesting an audience. Those go over. If we get a reply, then yes, we can go in as a formal diplomatic mission to Ket. That will give us the safety. That's the only way, because if we just walk in the gate, we're just handing them our heads. So everyone's
that-
right here.
I get it. Yeah.
There is
Understood.
Even
How about-
though that we are
still
the
get
Lord Protector and the Council of Bissell,
yeah.
we still need the blessings of the
Yeah, we have
embassy
to go in under the auspice of and all of that.
Why don't
I
we send
think your initial idea of traveling as, I don't know, low-key diplomats, merchants, something of that order, is still perfectly valid. We don't need to look at her to convolute the method in which we do our next step in trying to find that dumbass barbarian guy. We just gotta do it carefully, not going in stomping. There's low key, yes, low key going in, and while we're there, we can get a sense of things because of we're gonna get, I'm sure, some documents back, assurances, potential ways of having the war end. That's what we're there to do, quote unquote.
And I believe Kiffy has made a good point. The more we stand out, the more we stand out. So if we're going to dress as somebody who's probably well known through Ket.
Let me be honest here.
Why can't we just be a travel
flew in
consumers?
to Greyhawk. I can guarantee you, if they have an area that is a kind of a landing area for people to come in, store their animals before entering Greyhawk, they know we're here. They know what we look like. That's a given. We've moved through the city. Some people have had open conversations about what we have done in the past couple of weeks, while standing in the middle of the city.
What me?
So, they know we're here. They know we're working on something. Part of the misdirection, if you will be us going and actually having an embassy to Ket, making them think that we're war weary or whatever, and that we would like to know what it would take to end the war.
Without total capitulation? Now, why don't we have a third party negotiate a meeting? Not us.
You're only going to plan on staying one day here. How long is this kind of?
I know that's the one thing
meeting is going to take.
I think as the champion of Bissell, you can get us immediate audience. We move in. Not all of us have to go. In fact, Russ, if I were you, I would ask for all the Planes of Hell books you can get. All the books that direct and misdirect, like we're looking at traveling the planes or something like that. And then Manual of the Planes or anything along that lines, we go interact real quick. We get a sight on target, find out what their goal is, and we throw a misdirection that they think we're going to try to come in. Whereas reality, I still think the idea, Albie, is still good. We come in from Tishmet and look like Tishmeti's trying to align with them.
Yeah, that right now is about the best, but we need to find out where this dumbass, where his fiefdom is, and find out where Lothar is hiding up. The real worry is that what is his name? Aziz perhaps would be with him. That would be a concern. But getting in and doing that, I think, is certainly our best way into Ket and to travel freely in Ket.
I think that's an excellent idea. However, I'm not sure the going to other planes is the right idea.
No, the idea is to get the books. You don't have to look at them. You need them brought here so that everybody thinks that we're looking at otherworldly means of dealing with this.
Okay.
Because we have watchers.
Well, absolutely.
We can drop all sorts of hints.
Why do you think I made the glyph of warding the first thing to learn?
Yeah, that's fine. I wish you hadn't talked though so freely in the middle of the.
Well, no, that was intentional.
Okay.
That was intentional.
So let's.
And everybody's going, why the hell was it intentional?
We need to go to our embassy.
I
think
Correct.
Should be staying.
I agree. I agree. We establish ourselves in the Bissell embassy, and at that point, we've been in the city less than a day. We take up residence there. You quest immediate um, audience. Not everybody has to go, but at least get some voices. Make it sound like we're looking and we're negotiating. We're hell. I say we make it sound like we're desperate, even though we're better off than we are. And at that point, they'll be like, "Oh, what are they looking into? Oh, they're looking into planar travel. They're looking into this." They'll be burning all their spells to do protect against that, and then we slide in just as thieves in the night.
War weary is the key there. I think that we're just tired of the war.
Yes.
Not necessarily that we're beaten or any of that, and just we're war weary. We're ready to end this in what way we can. We will not completely capitulate. That's not on the table. But if we can find a happy medium where Ket can draw back and go on, I mean,
What is north of Kent?
north of
Tanish.
Yeah.
Tajish. That country we're looking at trying to impersonate.
Yeah. Mountains are directly north, but yeah.
Tiger and wolf nomads.
Yeah, so you got the mountains right to the north. Interestingly, you have Pereira Land, where we were just at with the dragon. That's the mountains we found him in. So you come across the mountains as into Tishmet. So I suspect they raided in from that direction and stole the eggs.
Well, I do see,
What is-
if you look at the map,
what is-
there is
Oh,
a roadway going up into the mountains from Ket and one going up from Perrinland
Mm-hmm.
that come pretty close to each other. So it looks like there may be like one pass or two that give access. So
do the Tiger nomads have an embassy in Greyhawk?
No, those are actually a barbaric wonder. They're like a nomadic tribes, so they don't usually have ambassadors. they're the free folk, so to speak.
I think
You're our voice of logic. What do you think? Does the plan sound? Does the plan seem sound?
But that's just
Who you talking to, Ed?
Kiffy. Hey, Mike, you're our voice of reason here. What do you think of our plan? Oh, he loves it. Let's do it.
I think we're going to stand out because
No, I'm
they
not
have news
really
up there.
politics guy, so I don't really see the point of it. I mean, if we can sneak in without all of this skullduggery, yeah, I would prefer it. But if there's actually some point, I'm open to the argument.
And for the record, I'm not saying we travel as her. I'm just saying at some point I've seen her and I can flip to her with a disguised self if we need an immediate out. Just even if it catches guards off, like, what are you doing here, milady? Like, fuck you, and being like Bellatrix Lestrange during the Polyjuice section. So that's kind of how I view it. It just gives us another advantage. Plus, we don't show our hand, and we might at least get a little bit of an edge.
Okay.
Sure, if we can do it without wasting a bunch of time, that's fine. But if we have to stay here for a couple of days, then I think it's dumb because we got a couple of clocks ticking on us.
Yep, I agree. If they won't see us, then Russ, like I said, I think you have a whole bunch of books about the 9 hells and teleportation and jumping worlds and shit like that.
No.
And leave them on your desks.
No. I go to the library and I have them help me research it.
What he was saying is that we very openly, I'm sure that the wizards can request from the library this tome, that tome to be brought by a page or young wizard.
I'm sure that there are resources available that will do the research for me.
ChatGPT hasn't been invented yet.
He's
Well,
using that position now.
they're called apprentices.
Oh, there you go.
I would also, I mean, I agree. We don't have much time, therefore we can put diplomatic weight on this missive. It
Mhm.
goes to their embassy. We need to know now, and we need to speak now, knowing that Ela is here is an opportunity, and that's why we're going to push it. And when she's going to leave, but we would like to speak to her concerning all of this. Yeah,
I'm on board.
I really want to know how amenable she is to perhaps ruling that. Because I'm not above knocking out a few people ahead of her. So
This is
All
war.
right, so the thought is we're gonna see if we can even get to the embassy, get into the embassy to talk within a
We just
reasonable amount of time.
yeah,
With a reasonable amount of time, and talk with her. Give the pretense that we're trying to find other means by also what Yarn's gonna be doing with the apprentices. So I guess, Grinna, how do you feel about that?
Beer duty.
She's on beer duty.
Beer wench. I want one.
China.
Yeah, they're
Thank you, my love.
You're welcome. If this country that we're gonna try to impersonate is a barbaric country, is anybody gonna believe that they would send an embassy or a group down to negotiate?
So I would use the cover story that when they find us, first of all, what I would suggest is, as on Griffins, we find a caravan, we knock out the caravan, right? We just bury them in the desert. Fuck them. We take their shit, and then we act like we were part of a caravan that was attacked, and we're working our way across. Would be the plan that I would use.
Some
That
of us
way we
have problems with that.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah, I
better?
don't
to
think
just
I'd be
hire
happy. I don't think Felix would be thrilled with
someone that's an outdoor
decimating an
traveler
innocent
to
caravan.
do?
It's a caravan and cat. We're striking behind their lines for a change.
logistically, it can be argued that this is an appropriate act of war. However, I think since we're coming from Tismet, those are the people that we need to find. And I think that if there are any, if there's a caravan of goods and a merchant heading south or to Ket, so southeast, I would say just buy everything they've got. It's the easiest damn.
We got the gold.
All right. Here
I
you
like
guys
that
go.
idea
Get the hell
better.
out
I
of here.
can't kill any more people than is absolutely necessary. I mean, we already have my uncle chopping off heads. We really don't need to add to that.
Yeah, but
Why not?
All right. So the question
You're
is,
my favorite all the time.
who believes that we should go to the embassy and try to give them the pretense that we want to treat with Cat?
I'm doing it. I mean, it makes the most sense. We can talk with
I'd like
them,
to hear everybody's views on this.
learn a few things. Just gonna do it.
The only problem I can see is the Ket representative may not be plenipotentiary.
Don't care.
Then they
Let's
can't
go ahead.
make.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going in there to end this war. I'm going in there straight in for a search for intelligence. We look at what we need. We find out what we need to fake our way, document wise, not dressing up in pretty little dresses and pretending we're.
But that's so
princesses.
fun.
But then find out that sort of thing. We're looking at the soldiers and at the people who are waiting upon the princess and doing all of that stuff to see what is the normal way of doing things. We don't want to stand out too much. We're going to be from another country going into Ket. So we're going to be allowed some excuses, but we do need to kind of have a bit of a lay of the land. We go in, we talk our way around it. We could learn a few things. We could learn what's really behind all of this, and how far they're willing to go. We also find out Ela's kind of her take on things. You never know. She may be like the most reasonable voice in all of Ket. We just go in there. It's a fact-finding mission. We're just looking at things and trying to figure out how we prepare ourselves to be from Tismet to go into Ket looking for Lothar, the Barbarian King.
All right, let's look at it this way. If we can get in there today or tonight, then we go to the embassy and we do the fact finding. If we can't, we remember we're on a time clock. We don't know how long it's going to take for us to find.
We go to the embassy tonight. We sit down in our embassy and start things going. I will.
Well, we don't start tonight. We start now.
We can set down and work out a letter to Ela, a formal missive from myself, yourself, to her, and just wishing while we are here for a short time, but while we're here, we would like to sit and talk to you informally. And see perhaps if there's a way
someone who hates the position, he really likes some of these things.
I don't like it. I know how it's done. Okay, as a cook, I think that I could look at something and possibly cook up some cow balls, but it's really not a dish I want. So,
I like cow balls.
You would.
All right.
So we got. I'd like to go. Who else would like to go? I'm assuming Pav, you're going, and Albie.
Going to our
to the embassy, and then getting everything ready. And we'll probably have to, provide letters of introduction for everybody and things like that. All the nobly pobly kind of crap.
Yeah, I can draw that stuff up.
We need to kill something.
I got everything that we
check
need.
your messages.
Brian, check your messages.
Roll the 20.
Gotcha. You're gonna make me do this out loud, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, never mind.
So we need to kill something.
But no, you do need to think about it.
Okay. So you all are heading off to the Bissell Embassy?
Yes.
Not me.
Not me. I'm gonna tinker.
Okay.
I'm summoning a messenger.
And I need to find a place to send my letters.
Okay. So sending letters is easy enough, especially from the Crystal Citadel, so you can either have them delivered by different types of birds or such, ravens, crows, owls.
Familiars like
familiars. Yeah, I mean, you could also send flying familiars if you have one of those, or stuff of that nature. But the thing with the familiar, I would almost kind of think that if it had never been to the location that you're talking about, that you're saying, it would not really understand. Where a bird might be able to get close, because birds migrate all over the place and stuff. So, alrighty. So, you all take so who's going to the embassy?
Wait, before they go, how long are we going to give you guys before we sound the alarm and come in fireballing our way in?
20 minutes.
First off, we're going to the Bissell Embassy.
Yeah, it might take you 20 minutes to get done in the Bissell Embassy. So,
I doubt we'll have
a
return.
I'll go to the Bissell Embassy after I send my letters.
As you firebomb
Also
your
looking
own
this way, I'm
embassy.
sure we need to get a little more presentable.
Yes.
Probably.
And I think we're looking at certainly writing our request to see Ela Al-Zar, I think you said it was.
Yep.
To speak with her while we are here. We have but a day. We'll send it tonight with letters of introduction and all of that rot. We'll send it and let them know that we expect their response in the morning.
Master Kiffy, are you coming with us, or?
I really don't see what I could add to this situation.
Actually, I think actually
we staying at the Crystal Citadel, or are we going to try to stay at the Bissell?
We have to stay at Bissell. It's part of the presentation to let them know we're formally in house. They will have people watching, all of that stuff. They're. Right. I'm sure our embassy has people spying, as their embassy has some of our spies. So.
I would also just point out that Kiffy doesn't have any official standing in Bissell. I'm just an envoy from my people to Bissell.
That's why you and I need to go have a drink.
I understood that you were part of the.
I thought I made you I thought I gave you a sort of a title.
No, I refused all titles.
He turned and ran.
You could be co-captain of the guard.
Yeah, Kiffy was definitely a smart one there.
I don't believe in having divided loyalties.
Why are you with us?
Entertainment.
IV.
Yes.
He can do the IV. He gives really good shots. They don't hurt. He's my best friend.
And if it does hurt, he just looks at you and tells you to suck it up.
I actually think the three of us going in as an entourage is pretty good. So you got the champion Abyssal, we got the you got a knight Abyssal, and then you also have whatever Timble is now. He keeps changing.
Right. Lord Protector, and he's Chancellor, and you are the Knight Protector.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are the titles.
I do believe we should have an entourage from our embassy, an escort of soldiers going there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I would have my squire with me. That damn dragon took it.
Gravity is a heartless bitch. So, Kiffy, you and I are going to go out and get drunk.
Okay.
All right. Well, you will. I'll watch. I'll make sure nobody hurts you. You and
look out. Another weird interracial dating or something. Hey, Mike, I just found a site where we could rent dwarves and dwarvish or midgets or whatever you want to call them in Las Vegas.
Nah.
You're gonna that's a hard pass.
Better than some of your staff there in Vegas. You're muted.
That is fact. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, you all go ahead and start to make your way over to the embassy row where all the embassies are. And of course, you pass by, nations that are definitely allied to you. You see the one for Celene. The Luna is there. The Vespi forest. And then finally, you come to one that is very familiar to you, and that is the Embassy of Bissell. And outside there stands two guards armed with pikes. And as soon as they see you, Calix, I believe you've actually been to the embassy here before, if I remember right. I think it was like right after you became the Lord Protector.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Sorry,
they snap to attention and render the salute. The one by the door opens the door for you and your entourage. As you walk in, you see a halfling gentleman wearing the robes and finery of his station. This is Flubus Fairbane, and Flubus is the actual ambassador of Bissell in Greyhawk. He immediately walks over, bows low, and says, "Your Lordship, welcome back. It is so good to see you again. We've heard wonderful news that the war has stalled somewhat. This is wonderful that you have been able to gather so many allies to our cause." Once again, he bows again and says, "How can we be of service to you?"
Ambassador Flubus, we'd like you to send a message to the embassy here, the Ket embassy here in Greyhawk, that we would like to discuss some terms.
Oh, of course. We can write up those documents immediately. I can do that right now, of course.
And we would like to see them as soon as possible.
Okay. Like I said, let's see. By the time that you guys got back here, it's probably closer to 3 o'clock. So that it's probably going to be close to about an hour to write up the documentation, get all the stamps and seals and everything, make it look official and pretty. And then and so do you want to I mean, we can have a courier deliver it this evening. Most
Official
likely
courier this evening.
Yes.
they will not probably want to see you till tomorrow, but of course
The documents should state that we would like to sit down with Princess Ela Al-Zar and speak to her concerning the war and what we can do to end it. We need that also to state that we have a short time within the city, and that we would await their message for till tomorrow morning.
As the Lord Chancellor has said.
Yeah, he looks at you a tad bit puzzled. And he said, "Princess Ela is at the embassy, yes, but most likely her her fiance is probably not going to let you speak with her. That would be Montir El Ali, the vizier, is probably not going to let you chat with her."
Please add that to our NPC list. 'Cause I'm not even going to try.
Oh, I will. I have a list of new people that I have to add.
Tomas says it doesn't matter if her fiance allows it. It's a diplomatic message from us to her, and only her.
I dropped those names in the Roll20 chat for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Help you guys out a little bit.
And Mundir, his title is?
He's a vizier.
Dear.
Yeah. It is a high official. So,
In fact, I would suggest we say we'll be calling at the 9 o'clock hour tomorrow, and they should expect us. And then we just go. We've warned them. We're coming over.
Okay. So, Fluvis says that is fine. I'll start working on the paperwork immediately. I'll have a courier take it over as soon as I finish. Would you like to see it before I
Yes.
stamp it? Of course, Chancellor. I understand that you would definitely want to take a look at it. And so some of the servants come down, and of course, Fluvis says, make sure they have their rooms prepared for them, turn down their linens, and so that is what. And of course, there is a place to wait, but then there's also, you can retire to your rooms if you want to while he works on the document. Like I said, you all, I believe, have been here before, so it's not like this place is a mystery to you. And being that you all are, it's kind of your place. You can come and go as you please. That's the beautiful thing about your embassy. So yeah. So after about probably about an hour and a half, there is you all are summoned by the ambassador, and he immediately hands the document over to you, Temple, to look over it. And it outlines specifically exactly what you asked, and it has the seal at the bottom of the ambassador, but it also has a place for a seal that was created specifically for you, and also one for Kellex. So they break out the wax, and they have you press your signet rings. Wonder Twin Powers activate, form of a wax seal. Okay, so form of a giant eagle.
As I go over it, do I see any of the usual tomfoolery that you could see something hidden within a document?
Are you looking for encoded messages?
Yeah, anything that might stand out.
Oh. Okay, so by looking for this, are you kind of looking that there is some?
I'm making sure that there's no hidden message in here.
Okay.
Anything like that. Well within the auspice of my station and some of the shit that I pulled, I'm sure.
Okay, give me an investigation check. $19. Very good. So yeah, I mean, you're looking to make sure that like there isn't some sort of the letters on one side don't turn into some sort of into a message, or the last letters, or every other word. You take your encryption skills as a mastermind, and delving deep into it, and you're like, okay, no, it looks like it's very straightforward. It's exactly what you were looking for. So, which makes you feel good that that Fluvis is not a double agent. So that's kind of a.
He specifically is okay.
Yeah, he specifically is okay. So yeah, once you guys go ahead and stamp it, a courier is called, and a young man, probably in his late teens, arrives, and he is a what they call a general courier here within the in the embassy row, and Fluvis hands it to him and says, "Make sure this gets into the hands of the Vizier of Ket." And
I look at Fluvis and say, "Let us know as soon as they have returned with a reply."
Of course.
We will retire to our rooms, but I would ask that perhaps we can get some more formal clothing and such drawn up for us. As you can tell, we've been here and there, and we're packed awfully light.
Of course. Yeah, he motions to the servants, and they overheard the conversation, and so they started readying and of course they will collect armor if there's armor that needs to be polished, and things of that nature. They will take care of all of that stuff. So the next morning when you rise, you will have fresh clothing and clothing that is fitting your station. Pretty cool.
That's good.
Okay.
Snip, snip here, snip, snip there, dolly,
I can
dolly,
stand
la.
exactly.
So the rest of the evening is yours. So of course you can sleep. They do of course serve you dinner. Yarn, I don't know what you were planning on doing. I mean, if you're burning the midnight oil,
Indeed.
going
I'm
deeper.
having everybody that I can possibly dragoon in looking at extraplanar travel.
Okay.
And specifically, extraplanar allies from the lawful evil type area.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So,
All right.
so by
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of not.
So by early, or actually about mid-evening, Fluvis knocks on your door, Temple, and says, "Hi, Chancellor. We did get a message back from the Ket, and they will meet with you tomorrow."
Can I see the message, and can you have Sir Tomas and Sir Keelix brought in so that we can read it together?
Of course. And so they, Tomas, you're roused from your relaxation, as well as Kelix, and you guys are brought over to Timble's room by Fluvis.
What news, Timble?
Well, it seems that they will meet us. Let's take a look at the document together. See what we can see.
Okay.
Almost wish I had our wizard here to detect if there was any magics involved in it.
Nah, it's a little bit simpler now. It's just like a checkbox. Do you want to meet? Check yes, check no. Do you like me? Yes, no.
Isn't there a song about that?
Frankly, politics would be a little better if that were the case.
It would be. All right. So you all have assembled in Timble's room with Fluvis, and he presents the document. It is a simple sort of a on parchment with the seals of the Ket, which is a newer seal than the one that you've seen, the one that you had you'd seen at the Revos. So that's really useful, and it also has the seal of, but it does have a seal of Princess Ela. You do not see one for the Vizier.
We don't see one for the Vizier.
Right.
Now, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe she's tired of
It's possible that he's just allowing her to use it, and he's still not going to allow us to see her. But
We'll see.
Okay. So
what time would they like to meet?
Yeah, they were looking at a time to actually have brunch, which is about 10 o'clock. And they would be serving brunch at that point in time, and have invited you to attend.
What?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
We need to get a word out to the other three.
Okay.
Let them know.
So yeah, okay, yeah. So you can definitely do that. Kiffy and Grenna, you all are at one of the local taverns. You probably already drained a good sized pony keg of ale. Mostly Kiffy has taken most of it. Where
Yep.
Grenna, I think you've probably had like maybe a glass and a half. It's now getting to the bottom of the keg, and Kiffy doesn't even look like he's been lightly affected by it. This is just this is standard ale. This isn't dwarven, which will literally put people on their asses. I mean, it's dwarven, and the dwarves know how to make booze. So he's feeling no pain. You're okay. But it doesn't really seem that it has as much effect on him as it does other patrons. And he's just enjoying you as you're there. There is some there is a bard there who is performing. So you all are really just enjoying yourselves. Bubbles is, you guys are kind of at a booth, and he's kind of under the booth, just resting, sleeping under, right under your feet. Because Granite, of course, your feet can't touch the ground, so they're kind of just like hanging there off the bench. But he's kind of like right there. So, but he doesn't seem to be too concerned about what's happening. So that's what you guys are doing. Is there anything you wanted to do specific?
Let's order some bacon.
Okay. Well, that's the beautiful thing about this tavern, is that they do serve food. So you order an order of bacon, and they send out like a pound and a half of bacon like 20 minutes later.
Oh man, I love this place.
Kippy goes into full begging strips mode. Bacon, 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 bacon.
Of course, once the bacon arrives, of course, once the bacon arrives, Bubbles is like all about that. So he's like bumping his head under the table, trying to like get bacon to fall off the table. As that's
I don't know. I wish I was there. I want to see Kiffy and Bubbles wrestle for bacon.
Not wrestling, although Bubbles really should boop Grinna. That actually works for my dog.
We'll give him some bacon and some beer. Here you go.
Good combo. The farts are going to be ungodly. Bacon and beer for the dog.
It's beer. It's meat. There we go. I have a couple raw steaks too.
Good deal.
Those under the table.
They're in the refrigerator. I cooked them the other day.
No, I don't want them there. No, I need more food.
So yeah, as you all are sitting there enjoying your bacon and beer, you see one of the servants from the embassy Abyssal walks in, recognizes you, and immediately approaches and lets you know that you have a brunch meeting with the ambassador of Ket in the morrow. So they wanted to make sure that you knew that, so you didn't stay out all night getting trashed and wake up in a dumpster, or whatever happens. Whatever happens at Greyhawk stays at Greyhawk.
In a park.
I've never done that.
Wake up face down in a park.
No, he woke up on a bench.
No. I woke up naked in Jackson Square in New Orleans.
Okay, great. And
I'd love to hear the story if he could remember it.
Yeah. And also, this happens to you as well, Jarn. A message is sent up from the information kiosk downstairs concerning it. They did not let the delivery person actually up to your room. They took the message and sent that up.
Very cool.
They
Thank you.
don't. Yeah, I mean, usually they don't let people just. I mean, if you're known to them, they'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool. We know who these people are." But this was just a common porter, so they're not gonna just let them go up.
I'm the messenger.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All righty.
I guess we ought to go back.
As Kiffy is shoving bacon in his face.
Bacon, beer. Do those steaks come? Ooh, raw steaks. There you go,
Raw
Bo.
steaks. All right. Okay. So yeah, you ordered a few raw steaks, and of course Bubbles was like, he's died and went to Warg Heaven or whatever. So he's wolfing them down as fast as he possibly can. And yeah, so eventually you all retire for the evening and get prepared for your big day with the Embassy of Ket. So
does he wolf them down, or does he warg them down?
He warged them down. Yeah, that's probably the better way to put it.
Mhm.
So yeah, you rise the next morning. You have fresh, clean clothing to wear. Your armor has been taken. Some repair has been done. I think Kellex, yours primarily, being that you had some marks and some rending holes from dragon's teeth in yours. So yeah, they were able to get it patched and get it looking the way a Lord Protector should look. And by about 9:45, you all start making your way out into the embassy row and locate the Embassy of Ket, which is almost about an 8 to 10 minute walk. It's pretty far away from the Bissell one. There's probably a good reason why. As you approach, you realize that there are, just like most embassies here, there are 2 guards waiting out by the gate and 1 by the door. The flag of Ket flaps briskly in the breeze above you as you all kind of look up at the 2-story building, which houses the ambassadors. So the guards come to the position of attention. One opens the gate for you. They don't, of course, they don't render salutes or anything of that nature. You are, in all intents and purposes, yeah, you all are not particularly liked here, but hey, I digress. So, you head up to the door. The guard there asks you for your documentation. As you feel that there are eyes watching you the entire time.
I look at the Lord Chancellor.
We don't need no stock documentation.
Oh gosh. And you see,
What document do you require?
it said, "I am sure that your ambassador, sir, has already prepared and has received the documentation showing that you have a appointment with our ambassador this morning." Without
I'll pull. Was there letters?
Yeah.
To that effect.
Yep.
Then I'll pull those out.
Okay. He quickly looks over them and he says, "Very good, sir. He rolls them back up, sharply presents them back to you, and he said, and he steps to the side and opens the door for you. Once you get inside, you can see that it's like stepping into a completely different cultural aspect, where Bissell is more what you would probably say. I would even say it's more like an English provincial. um,
Enough.
yeah, this is more of a Middle Eastern feel to it. There are plants. There's a lot of um, there are rugs, very finely made, obviously hand woven rugs. There are some tapestries. It's an absolutely beautiful building. The inside is impeccably uh, decorated. And as you are there, you see that there are two servants who greet you. And just as they bow low, showing respect, you see a young woman, probably in her late 20s, maybe early 30s, um, walk in. She's dressed pretty plainly, but she does wear jewelry befitting of nobility. And if you happen to have the Mystic Syndicate brought up on your Facebook, you'll be able to see exactly what Ela Al-Zar looks like.
Well, gee.
If you
Some of
can't,
us go through Facebook.
if you can't, that's okay. I will actually post it on. I will post it in Discord for you.
I'm gonna jump it up on Twitter.
I'll say it's
real
pretty
quick.
good. I opened up Facebook and yours was the first thing up.
Okay, cool. Neat. All righty.
I guess I'll bow. Princess Ela Al-Zar, I presume.
She bows in return. She says, "Yes, welcome."
Fireball?
Okay. Boom. That would have been terrible.
Bringing it back.
Where did they take us to when they brought us in?
It was like
they took us to a room near the front or the middle. I mean, I'm spatially trying to figure out where we're at.
okay. So the door is right behind you. You're sort of in a foyer, but it's very large. It's like a greeting area.
I'm not taking my shoes off.
Okay. Yeah, you're not asked to, even though everyone else has no shoes on.
What's yours?
But yeah. So Princess Ela, welcomes each of you, and says, "Please, follow me." And she takes you into another room, and off of that room is a set of glass doors that lead outside into an absolutely beautiful garden in the back of the building. There is a table set up out there. There is food, small like finger foods and things of that nature, and fruit juices and the like are also present. Servants come and pull chairs out for you, and everyone.
Of course, I don't sit till the lady sits first.
Okay, of course, yeah. She. You can definitely see that she's dressed plainly, not to be intimidating. You've seen others from pictures that they sometimes can be a little bit more over the top. She does not seem to be trying to put on that type of that type of air, so to speak. So yeah, she takes a seat. The servants push your chairs in for you, And she says, "So, you come to me. I understand from your communication that we have things to discuss. My fiance would have been here, but he had been called away back to our homeland for a very important issue. He did not, of course, and I have not liberty to say, but I am glad that we finally got to meet."
Yeah,
Real quick, can I do a sense motive? Is she telling the truth
You can give me a sense motive.
or
It's an
perception now?
insight.
Insight. Thank
Insight,
you.
yeah.
Sense motive.
Kiss my butt. Man, she's telling the truth, guys.
well, I'm going to do my own insight.
Starts with an I.
Yeah, I'm looking at where you're going. I don't know that this one's going to help.
Not insight. Yeah, no. She is.
Abject.
From what you can tell, she is completely genuine in her. Yeah, you guys are just rolling beautifully tonight, like normal.
Yeah.
You're doing such a good job. Okay, well, Kiffy's sitting here, like.
Kippy. Oh, wait, who else with us?
Yeah, Kippy rolled. He came with us.
Yeah, everybody's with you.
Wow, I didn't think everyone came.
Yeah.
Apparently, we decided we all needed to be a group effort.
Yeah,
That
and
was
here
it.
it was
Well,
that,
for it.
Jarn told us not to get hammered, so I assumed that we had to be here.
the
Yeah.
letters of introduction. I didn't know I sent so many.
So Kiffy, you are kind of detecting that there may be a hint of deception, but it doesn't look like, you don't feel that it's coming from a place of malicious intent. That she may be hiding something not for your benefit, but for her own.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's what you are able to determine from your observation. Okay.
Well, we thank you for seeing us at such short notice. Obviously, we're here to talk about the current hostilities between our two countries and to see what we can do to cease those.
Well, and firstly, could we perhaps get to the reason for the invasion in the first place? What are we looking at here?
I thought this is totally out of character. I thought we talked about this before. It had to do with some land up north or something, wasn't it?
The Marquis the Marquis is no longer with us.
All right.
He knows all of the little things, and we're a bit fresh to this. I would like to hear a formal Ketian
Enjoy that. Give it back.
idea of what's going on and why.
Thank you.
Give me my bubble wrap back.
Okay. So she sort of sits back in her chair after she grabs a cup of tea, sips it slowly, and says, "Well, historically, there has been some animosity. Either primarily it was a land dispute, I believe, at the beginning. I know it's also driven by religious fervor. So I know that there is at least two reasons why Bissell would be in an aggrieved status at this. She looks around very quickly to her left and right. And then she leans in a little bit closer and whispers. And she says, Actually, I think the ruling house of my homeland has been co-opted. My
In what way?
my brother is is working very closely with my father in prolonging this struggle. Of course, I don't see what the point is. We have more than enough. If it is just a matter of spreading the faith, then I'm sure there's easier ways to do it than by putting the people of Bissell to the sword. The use of the dragon, that that in itself is insanity. I don't. Something has changed, and
I had
it's.
wondered if something, because it seemed odd that certainly the northern land of well, our Bissell, the Thornwood has always been, I guess, a source of contention. But that's something that we could deal with, and this push to completely eradicate Bissell, well, that seems something else. Religiously, yeah, okay, I understand that too. Um, but yeah, it does seem that something is untoward, and it's interesting. Huh. So you believe someone has co-opted the reins of your house?
I do indeed. I do believe that.
In what way? What makes you believe that?
I think there are outside forces which have either clouded the mind of my father or is using my brother to uh, to continue on with this path. Now, mind you, my brother is not a saint. He is actually a very a cunning and dangerous individual. But I do feel that there is something wrong in the royal court of Ket. But
When did this?
but
I guess.
I was sent here, and I've been literally a prisoner in this embassy for the last year.
Hmm.
So this happened. You believe that this event or this coup, whatever, has happened over a year ago?
I believe so.
Was there an event that took place that kind of changed things? A visitor, dignitaries?
I
The
do.
short little kid with a top knot on his head that has a
Hmm.
lust for blood.
No. She said, I know that at one point in time, within the last year, right before I was sent here, that there was a an emissary that was sent from Zyph, a very peculiar woman, an elf, a dark elf to be exact. She is the wizard of the the Shah there in um, in Zyph.
Hmm.
But the one thing that was very puzzling is that I remember meeting her once before I was sent here, and that she wore a very strange amulet. And I did some research once I arrived here and found out that it is tied to those who uh, who worship at the feet of Ayuz.
With your permission, Chancellor, Timble, with your
Yeah.
permission, Chancellor, Your Excellency, I understand what you're saying, but why are you saying it to us?
Well, being that you are actually the first people that I've seen outside of my handlers, so to speak, in over a year, I feel that you all are the best uh, to speak of. I'd look to uh, your Lord Protector, a man of integrity and faith, and feel that I can place my trust in what I'm saying to him. I do not mean harm to the people of Bissell. I do not. I you actually here's something interesting. You are the first people I've ever met from there. I have no clue. And you all have walked in here, have not brandished weapons, have not tried to harm me in any way, shape, or form, but you have been very civil. And
Um, to her mind, I'm not asking for permission. To her mind, I'm gonna ask her, "What do you want? You can think it back."
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I
To
follow.
her mind,
Yeah.
She's doing like a message
Oh,
thing, a thing.
what do you want? And she can think her answer back. She doesn't have to say it out loud.
what does she want?
Yes. What does she want from us by telling us all this?
Well, she's
That's what you
hoping
want. What you want to do?
that some light can be shed on what has happened to her father, who is not known as an evil man.
Milady, who sent you here?
Well, I can only believe that it was my father and my brother who conspired to send me here, and
What end?
betrothed me to the vizier.
To what end would they send you here? To protect you?
I'm not really too sure. I just know that
certainly
once I was betrothed to the vizier, I was pretty much uh, at his command, and so I'm here.
I'm taking it your husband, the Vizmir, is agreeing with what's taking place.
Oh,
In
Fiance.
Bissell?
she corrects you and she says, "We're not married yet."
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm betrothed
Oh.
to him, but I'm
My
not.
apologies.
We have not made that. And personally, he's very much like my brother, so I really do not want to have to take to the bed of this just devious man. Yeah, go ahead.
Understood.
Fine. All right. Message to Timble. I can get us out of here and back to all of us out of here and back to our embassy with nobody seeing us.
All
Okay.
I know is I failed another insight check. I totally believe the story.
He's still sleepy. Just waking up, man.
Hmm. Would you I do not want to insult Ket any further. And I do not want to feed the fires of this war. But are you asking to leave?
No, I don't think leaving is going to be a good idea. I think what would probably be better is that if you don't mind, I could maybe help uh, your cause by staying here and keeping my ears and eyes open.
There's
Leaving
that.
might be detrimental,
I
especially
think it'd be a kidnapper or something
especially
of like-
after meeting with you today.
Yes, that was my thought, that it might do more harm than good, but I'm not about to leave someone jailed. I don't have to. If you want to help us in that way, I mean, of course, I mean, that aid would be worthwhile. But we can't openly trust you. You know, we're in a trap here. I have no way to verify what you've said, but I want to believe.
Insert X-Files music.
Yeah, I
don't even know what the X
let me add that I do know that there are other places dealing with problems very similar to your own, and that is very troubling. I mean, look at Starich in the middle of the night. Their king gone, disappeared. Just all about. There is some hand pulling a lot of strings.
And Brian's down there going, well, they're finally starting to figure it out.
I don't know if I would certainly be open to you helping us in any way you can. Do you know the barbarian king Lothar? Where is his fight?
She says, yes, I know Lothar. He's a good friend and actually a cousin of more of a friend to my brother than myself. Yeah. So.
Would he be in the line of succession?
Oh no. He's his people are married in to the line. They are not. I mean, the only way that would happen is if we were deposed, and his family is not that strong. He might be a danger, but his people are not what I would consider a threat.
Our own intelligence. We hear some rustlings there, so we're kind of looking for him, wanting to know more about him, see if what makes him tick.
Well, I think the question is he someone that we could reach out to as well, like we're reaching out to you, and allow more peaceful minds to prevail?
Like I said, he's more like my brother than myself, and he is a true believer, one of the most faithful and zealotic of us of our people. So most likely, reaching him is only going to be able to be done if you capture him in some way, shape, or form. He's very wily, very devious.
I doubt we could do that. I mean, I'm sure he's not even on the front lines of the battle. We haven't been able to locate him. I mean, he's probably somewhere in Ket, isn't he? I'm trying to persuade her into an answer.
Oh, She says, like I said, I could not tell you. I've been here for over a year. My
Well, we're
my
to be
fiance does not discuss the war with me, so I just know that we're at war. I know there's a dragon, but and that I also know what I saw before I left, which was the emissary from Zyph.
your brother, your and Lothar. Where are their seats of power? Where and we have no idea in which well as we would see it a barony, but fiefdom. Where is that within Ket?
Well, my brother's domain is primarily the capital. Lothar's is he has lands, but they're not what I would consider important. And they don't have
He
large
operates from the
cities.
capital also.
Um, well, mostly he's in the field with the military, unless he's on a special mission. Um, Most likely, if he's on a special mission, he is going to be very, very hard to find. My brother, on the other hand, likes to hobnob with the courts of other our allies, actually.
And forgive me, milady, but I'm unfamiliar with the lands of Ket. And this is where I'm using my persuasion roll, trying to dig information. Can
Mm-hmm.
you tell me about their people? Are they nomadic? Are they, you know, is Lothar like a leader of a nomadic tribe, or is he more and he travels his lands? Or do your people settle in various oases around the world and you circulate out of there? And I have a 27.
Most likely, well, our people are not nomadic. I mean, we have cities and towns and things of that nature. He is only called the barbarian king by his own people. He is not a barbarian. He was actually raised in the same court that I was. He's not
Huh.
he's not anything uh, otherworldly or super special. He is just a man, but he is very intelligent, and he has spies, friends in very low places. Um, and if they are cavorting with the likes of a drow, I mean, how bad can that get? I mean, the drow are terrible.
Oh, Brian,
Yes.
my ignorance. The capital of Ket is
It is La Pola.
La Pola.
Yep. And I will copy and paste that into the Roll20 chat.
It's kind of funny. I know somebody who worked with that last name.
Really?
Yeah.
Her name's La Pola. She was a showgirl.
You can look at them and say, cat. And then I don't know if
Spit at her. She walked
he
by.
probably won't get it, but
All right, 30-minute warning, guys.
It's well, I guess it's as good as we get. All right, I'll decide to trust you. Could you run down and kind of format out for me? Diplomatic sheets so I see how it's laid out so that we know what's accurate and what's not. And if I were to prepare a diplomatic mission for myself to La Polar, how would I best do that? Yes, I know it's dangerous. I know I would most likely die. But it may come down to getting into the court myself and simply talking to your father to get to know a little more and get a taste of this.
So she says, hold on one moment. And she stands up and leaves you in the garden.
And we all die.
I know. And that's when the
gas starts coming in.
That's when the man-eating plants feed me. Yeah.
Feed me.
No, and just a few minutes later, she comes back and she puts some papers down on the table, and she says, and as you look at them, they are actually wanted posters with your names on them and drawn out likenesses of what you supposedly look like. She says, "Yes, Ed."
How
Does
accurate
mine look-
are the pictures?
And is mine pre or post scar?
Yours is actually pre-scar. So you still have in the picture it has the scar, but you are no longer with the scar, so you're kind of feeling like, Grenna, yours is kind of weird looking because all it does is have a rough outline or a rough drawing of a gnome with a hood and a really big dog.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. So there's not really any like actual really good facial features for you because primarily you've been using your hood and everything to obscure your features, but you can see that somebody has taken the time to try to get a good look at you, which means that there are obviously spies everywhere. The two that look really, or the three actually that look really really on board for the most part is Kellex. It's almost like a picture. Same with
it's got little places for numbers. It's called Color Kellex in.
Yeah, color by Kellex. Also, Timble, yours looks very strikingly familiar. And also Kiffy. Yours looks and each of them has a certain amount of gold attached to, how much, some the crown will pay for your head. You don't have to be alive to get the reward. The one that really is the one that's kind of strange is Jarn's. Jarn's does it. It just looks like a person with like a really big beard and bushy eyebrows and like a cape sort of robe thing. It's not very well done. It looks like somebody was just rushing to get it done. So it could look like any wizard, any old wizard.
Stereotyping wizards.
It just, yeah, I mean, at the Crystal Citadel, it could have been any one of them. It's like, oh, look, another guy with a beard and a staff. And it's just like, oh, okay, it could be any damn guy.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And primarily what you're thinking is that the person was rushing through it because maybe there was a chance that they were getting too close and they were getting in danger of being caught. So you're thinking they had to rush to do yours. Like either they were detected or...
Fuck you, Ed.
What happened?
Fuck you, Ed.
So what did Timbles look like?
He just sent a picture to me of me as Karl Marx as a wizard.
Oh no. Oh no.
So now, Brian, do you have mock-ups of these different want posters you can display for everybody?
Do I have mock-ups of them?
I mean, you got pictures of everything else. I mean, your sister and girlfriend look, pretty much the same. You have issues. You need to go see a therapist.
They're what you can say.
We got to think. I mean, the people from his city, a lot of them do share the same Nordic looking features and high cheekbones and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah. Other than that, and actually, there's probably
Did they get a good picture of Timble?
Yeah, actually, yeah, Temple they got down pretty well. Kellex was like the best one though. It looked like they just took a picture and went take a picture, it'll last longer. So
is Lothar an honorable man?
No, not at all.
Would he fight me on the field of battle?
In a heartbeat. But don't trust him to be honorable in that fight. Don't trust him to use any form of chivalry or he is ruthless. So,
my lady, you mentioned the dragon.
Yes.
Do you know how they are getting a dragon to aid them?
No, that was never told to me how that even came about. I just know that there's a dragon. I don't know if it's it's a chromatic dragon. I don't know. It was never told to me.
Tomas kind of waves him off and goes, "We already have seers looking into what dark spells they've conjured up to take over the dragon. So I doubt she's involved with that."
I understand. It was worth a shot.
Lady Elia, or
Lady Elia.
Lady Elia.
Wrong
When did we go
person.
back to the elves?
Wrong person.
Yeah.
Girls don't like it when you do that. Just saying.
I tanked it when I was trying to convince her when I was lying there. So just keep that in mind. At least I'm honest.
I'm not surprised that we are big targets. It doesn't change the fact that maybe we would get somebody in there and do that. Are you able to assist with that? With the documentation, what it would look like, proper seals, notation, right down to the paper.
Well, of course, I can draw up diplomatic documents for you. How you're going to be received once you cross the border or once you get behind enemy lines, it's going to be completely up to the commanders there.
Oh, certainly, I get that. But we're fairly ignorant, given we don't have generational knowledge of Cat. We're just some fairly unlucky individuals who fell into positions of power.
Not Fireball.
Because simply someone had to do it.
Not Fireball. Lightning
Ain't
bolt.
that the shit? And that's out of character.
Okay. She says, I understand what you want to do. I mean, I would be happy enough to draw up the paperwork for you to at least get you or try to get you safe passage through lines, through wherever you need to go. But again, I don't know what sort of evil has taken over my people. I don't know what has been told to them. I don't know the propaganda that has been used to stoke the fires of hatred to such a point where they are willing to unleash a dragon upon a neighbor. That sounds like genocide to me, and it's not something.
And now released it upon other countries.
How many countries are we talking about?
I think we're at 3 at the moment.
Which other ones are? I mean, I just know that the Ket and Bissell are at war. Who else?
Well, I would have to say that there are a number of nations on our side now. That's how we have been able to stall out.
Yeah, she just kind of slumps back in her chair and just in disbelief. She's like, "How is it that this has gotten so bad?"
Because someone wants it to be very bad. Again, someone's pulling a whole hell of a lot of strings. And until we find out what those are, I don't know how we get out of this. And by we, I'm not using the royal we. I'm talking about the people of Greyhawk. The many people of Greyhawk.
She just shakes her head and says, "Well, I will get the paperwork prepared for you. I will. I can send a runner to deliver them today after lunch. I don't. But again, like I said, once you cross the line, it's
I know that
it's very dangerous.
I may have to send someone other than myself, but unfortunately my vanity is such that I find it hard letting someone do the work for me. But we shall see.
Hmm.
I don't know if perhaps you could. Oh, we can postpone our time here if you would have them drawn up now, so a runner would not go. That lessens the chain of possibilities of interception. I certainly don't want you getting in trouble because you drew up these documents and sent them to us. That would certainly draw the fire upon yourself.
It may
I
take.
could just give her my birdie. She gives them with the bird to me. And they're done.
I mean, it may take some time for me to draw them up. I can definitely have them done by this afternoon. Would it be better that I send a runner to you to have you come and take them? Delivered from my
If
hand
we
to
can put
yours?
together a greater pretense for which we are coming back.
Or I could just give her my
That,
bird.
that might actually draw suspicion if
Yeah,
you come back. That is a good observation.
We should be slapping each other and fighting and arguing. I'd rather give you my friendship because at this point, I think we all need as many friends as we can get.
Truthfully.
And whatever corner we
then,
can find.
then if you don't mind waiting, then I'll start walking. It, like I said, it does take a little bit of time, but the proper wording, getting everything ready, I will try to make it as fast as possible. Of course, you may stay here in the garden if you wish to. There is a sitting room uh, in the house, but also note that the servants here are loyal to my house, and they're right now, even though we've been speaking in hushed tones, they cannot and probably should not be trusted.
I will draw up some documents myself. Yes?
Temple, you get another message. This is a perfect time for disinformation. I also sent it to Kellex.
Lady, if I wanted to challenge him, how would I get word to him?
I suppose that you could. I mean, we could send uh, a messenger to the capital to see if my brother could get the message to him, or if he has a person at court. But that may take weeks.
Yes, we don't have that time.
Tell him at 3 weeks' time. I want to fight him in front of the Bissell army. Issue the challenge. I'm done here.
She looks over to you, Calix, and she says, I I don't really understand you, Tomas. Is it your wanton just the possibility of being slain by this man? And you rush headlong into it. I don't know if it's bravery or just insanity. I mean,
It would seem his father did not hug him enough in his childhood.
she kind of cracks a
They're
smile at
muted.
it, but then she cracks a smile briefly, but then it goes back to sort of a tight lip. Not, and you kind of figured that it was more out of not wanting to disrespect Tomas, but she did at least find somewhat humor in it.
Tomas, I
Well-
appreciate what you're trying to do.
I think it's the only way we can defeat him. We're at a stalemate. I get it. He's going to cheat, but as one of the champions of Bissell, I challenge him in single combat.
Said, okay, I can send word. Where if he does answer, where will you be for him to answer this call?
Embassy of Ket can, or the Embassy of Bissell here in Greyhawk can receive the note. And the information will come to us.
So be it.
I wish to fight him on the sword fields. How far is the battle? How far have they pulled down into Bissell?
Oh, let's see. Let's bring up the map. So I can.
No, I thought you had said that they had gone into the sword fields, and that was about it.
Yeah, that's where I kind of had it too.
Short of my hero.
Okay, so they are they are just north of Mahiro, going up to Calpius, Mahiro, and Mistvale. Actually, I don't think they were able to take Mistvale. Mistvale is nestled in the hills and mountains there. They were under siege. But
It's too much work anyway.
yeah. So it's just north of Mahiro along that just south of the Sword Fields. So
Then I will begin mustering my forces at Mahiro. I will meet him there on the sword fields.
hey, he has forces, does he? I'm just kidding. Okay, so yeah. So Sheep rises and says, "Well, I
Just a
will."
moment, my lady. Chancellor, what if we leave her good Grenna's owl here? That could send the once she's done, she can give it to the owl, and the owl can get it to us. I think prolonging ourselves here longer could rise some more suspicion.
Well, I think we can certainly try it, but I know for a fact that there are many individuals around the embassies that look for such things. Birds, pigeons, ravens, color it how you will. Hopefully they do not bring the owl down. I think it's actually worth doing, because no one's going to be able to fabricate another owl that looks exactly like hers in any
Agreed,
short
yeah.
period. So we would know that something's happened and it's been fiddled with. Yeah, I think we can do that. It's worth
Let's
the
agree.
gamble.
Yep.
Anyone else have a problem with that? Thank you. Well,
Okay.
lady or princess, I'll drop down to an E and say, just know that you do have friends in Bissell.
She gives you a warm smile and says, "Thank you so much for coming here today. I hope that we can get to a point where our two nations no longer have to look upon each other with distrust and hatred." And
I agree.
and
I mean, any war, there's lives lost on both sides. There are individuals who are always willing to push for war because they have really no stake in it. They don't care about the lives, and those of us who've been in the trenches, we value it a little more.
she rises and says, "So, I will draw up the papers. Thank you so very much, Miss Grenna, for your the use of your owl." And she escorts you back through the garden and back into the main house.
Before we leave, I will turn to everyone and go, try to have a disgruntled face as you leave.
Already planned.
Yeah, a little angry.
Already planned.
That's fine.
Well, let's play the part.
Thank you, gorgeous.
Okay, give me a
You're
performance
welcome.
check.
You're welcome. Yeah.
All of us?
No, just those who are actively trying to.
Act pissed.
Yeah.
What do you want me to roll?
Performance check. Yeah, you guys are.
I guess it's my normal face.
Yeah. Not the normal face.
Are
Okay,
we all rolling?
so Temple, you actually put on a pretty good show of making it look as though you are perturbed with the entire situation, and yeah, very cool. So, and you all are shown to the door and escorted from the grounds by the guards. And now you're standing out on the. You're standing outside on the street, in front of the embassies, and Kippy put on such a stellar performance.
Stop laughing.
Goose egg.
We're standing out there in front of the Kent embassy, and you know what's going through my head? The scene in Finding Nemo where they're all in the bay inside the bags going.
Yeah,
Now what?
What do we do now?
Now what?
Don't worry, Charlie. I got an angle.
Got an angle.
Oh.
Okay. So I think this is probably a good enough place to stop for the evening. Still got about 5 more minutes, but that's okay. So big thanks goes out once again to my players who showed up this evening and went through all the fun role-playing parts and the political intrigue, even though I know some of you would like to blow shit up. I totally understand that. We are getting to a point where we will be blowing shit up. So, hey, won't be long.
Blown up.
Yeah, that was the beautiful part about you guys getting a chance to fight some iron golems. So, wet your whistles a little bit. I will be posting the names to the NPC list. I will also be posting more character NPC images on Facebook, and I'll also move them over to Discord. Actually, I might make a folder just for the images for Discord, so that
Image name and what and who they are.
yeah, oh yeah, it'll have it'll have titles and things like that, and
I remember plenty. Don't forget her.
oh, plenty Von Mundrick. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have
I
to
still
make.
miss it.
Yeah, so I definitely have to do that one. I even have an image for the Dryad Princess that you guys have to eventually deal with.
Make it a nice printable size to put up on our dartboard.
Okay. Being that you're so fond of her.
Oh, high or low? Oh,
Oh, there's.
I mean, if she keeps pushing it, I'm gonna have to start like pinning sprites on the krenels on the castle. Just stick them up there with a knife and leave them there for a while.
Yeah, that'll do it. Alrighty. So once again, everybody, thank you all very much for dropping by. If you're checking us out later on YouTube, make sure to take a look at our. You can find we actually have a Discord server. You can join the conversation there. I will post that on. I think it's actually posted in a few different places, but I'll make sure it gets posted.
And this, I do have a question. This is actually every time we play, it's on Twitch.
Yeah, it's streaming live on Twitch, but it gets uploaded to YouTube, and then eventually it will become a part of a podcast. Which
So
is,
many ways to see our sourpusses as we trudge through this and get eaten by dragons or flattened by them, destroyed one way or another.
exactly. Yeah, that's how that works.
I think of Kiffy. Squat.
Okay, so yeah, make sure to check us out there. We will be back, I believe, next Thursday. Is that what we're looking at, guys? Or are we looking at something else?
Thursday works.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be the 1st of August.
That should be
Yes.
the 1st of August. Yeah. So
Woohoo!
yeah.
All
so,
good.
So definitely check us out when we're there in next week. All right, guys, it's been fun. Hope you all had a good time.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. It was
Thanks,
awesome.
Aaron.
I got a plan.
You got a plan?
We're all gonna die.
yeah, I got a backup character.
And I always have a mission to talk him out of it. Always.
Is that like the Harry Potter always? With my ears Snape too.
No. The hell? No. Very simply, you come up with these convoluted, bass-backwards kind of let's go do something that could be simplified. And
This is a brilliant plan. This is a brilliant plan.
The brilliant plan is you challenging the prince or the vizier to do whatever. I think that's like.
Well, I mean, it would be a brilliant plan if you wanted to have a good character because he's not going to fight honorably.
So no, seriously, think about it. If he
Neither am I.
agrees to it, there's going to be all sorts of complications to it. If he doesn't agree to it, you look stupid. But then again,
he dishonors himself if he declines it. But why are you going after him? Was my thought. I thought perhaps the prince or maybe even the king, the leader. But no, you.
Because he's